Yo, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. This your man King Lou is Allah, coming to you on this knowledge born day of July. And supreme mathematics. Number 1 is knowledge. Number 9 is born. That born means to bring into existence, to manifest. Number 9 is also born because it takes, that's the definition of 9, to be born, because it takes 9 months to make a baby, to birth a baby. That's the gestation period of pregnancy. I'm getting into some things today. I'm gonna talk about some hot topic issues. One of them is NickCannon. I don't know how long this video will be, maybe short, maybe kind of long. It depends. I don't like to merge my topics. I like all my topics, if they're gonna be kind of lengthy, to be, separate topics. I don't like to talk about different, different subjects that don't match. So, but I don't know. I'm gonna talk about NickCannon and the Jewish people. I've been busy. I should have looked up what he said that offended Jewish people. But, something about Hebrews and Israelites. I don't know. I'm not a fan of NickCannon. I'm not a fan of Wild 'N Out or none of his shows. I like if he does some, dramatic movies. I might, he got one movie out there that's pretty good. But I'm not a fan of NickCannon. But I support all my brothers and sisters in the game. That's positive, or that's striving to bring enlightenment and change and some awareness to black issues. So with that being said, I think people are making a big deal about Nick losing his shows. Man, I think when an artist does that, and I think they at the end of their contract, or they want out of their contract. Like, I think Nick is doing a Steve Harvey. They say when Steve Harvey got canceled, it's like every time Steve Harvey get canceled, he move on to something better. And it's a mega multi-million-dollar deal. So I think the same is happening for Nick. I don't think Nick is gonna be asked out anywhere just because he said some things to offend Jewish people. So with that being said, Hollywood is, they say is run by Jewish people. And so there's a book called An Empire of Their Own, and it was about I think it was written in 1988. It's a nonfiction, and it's about Jewish people creating Hollywood. So I hear the myths and rumors that Hollywood, that's the entertainment, that's the film and television industry, is run by Jewish people. That's the myth, that's the perception, that's the rumor. Is it true? I don't know. I don't work in Hollywood. But I've been hearing that ever since I've been looking in windows of Hollywood businesses, Hollywood movie companies, Hollywood TV companies. I've been hearing that, right? And so with that being said, I think Jewish people are sensitive. I think they're too sensitive. um, in regards to criticism or negative feedback from black people. You know, I think they're very sensitive. Example, Facebook took down all Farrakhan. Now, I'm no longer a Farrakhan fan, but, you know, I think that was wrong. And they also, Amazon also stopped selling a book written by Farrakhan, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. Right? And so, you know, they're real sensitive. This after the comment, after a line Farrakhan said in one of his speeches, you know, I think he was trying to rhyme and be like Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the dark-skinned African-American revolutionary man that was once a member of the Nation of Islam. He passed away due to a brain aneurysm, I think. But, you know, some of his style, you know, he would rhyme. And, you know, and Farrakhan said, I'm not anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite. And you had some Jewish people saying that Farrakhan was calling Jewish people termites. You know, I don't think that's true. I think he was just rhyming. You know, I think it was a poor taste in wordplay. And I think they took that, you know, I think they hang on every word Farrakhan says in regards to Jewish people, and they used his wordplay against him to get him to bring backlash and to further criticize and try to bring down Farrakhan. And so when I say they too sensitive, I think Jewish people are out of touch with reality. I think they I think they are self-centered. And so when I say I think they're self-centered, and I think they maintain a certain air of self-importance just because they're Jewish and just because of their past. And so I can say this, right? Slavery lasted from the Jewish Holocaust started in 1933 and it went to 1945. And that's 12 years. So the Jewish Holocaust in Germany started, I think, from 1933 to 1945. That's 12 years. That's during World War II. Slavery was over during World War II. And so I think, you know, it was black people that fought for the freedom of Jewish people and the lives of Jewish people. And they still persecute us. Now back to that book, the Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, written by Farrakhan. Jewish people, before the Holocaust, that's when Hitler came into power in 1933. And before that, the Jewish people profited from slavery. They helped finance the slave trade. They helped finance the building of slave ships and all other things that's associated with slavery. And, you know, they probably owned slaves, Jewish people. And so you know, how can they get offended when black people feel mistreated from Jewish people and we speak out? You know, slavery lasted 300 years. Slavery lasted an estimated 300 years. And then after slavery, it was Jim Crow, segregation, and now today this worldwide spread racism, institutional covert racism, right? That's, you know, that exists in all areas of your life, at school and the workplace and social gatherings, social events. So, you know, and so 6 million Jews were systematically organized, murdered from the Holocaust. 6 million Jews. But it was more black people. And then so, like, I heard one Jewish man say that, you know, our black people ought to feel lucky because Jewish people or European people wanted to enslave black people, but they wanted to kill Jewish people. You see? And so that's their mindset, that our enemies, the European, wanted to enslave us, keep us alive, use us, but they wanted to kill all Jewish people. And so we should feel considered lucky or fortunate that they didn't want to kill us. Well, they did kill some of us, you know, and you know, they killed off, you know, our knowledge of ourselves. You know, we don't know, you know, where we come from, as far as our motherland, but Jewish people do. They can trace their last name back to Germany and, you know, find out, you know, who they are. You know, they have an ancestral lineage that they can trace and be proud of. You know, Jewish people think it's all about them. And the Holocaust, how devastating and atrocious that it is, only lasted 12 years. You know, it was probably 100 million African American people, half of them in the Atlantic, and the other half, and 10% of that got killed trying to escape and not gonna be no slave, and the rest whipped, sold, raped, beaten, tortured. You know who wants to live through that? So, you know, man, I think, you know, we need to be more respectful of, I think Jewish people and black people need to be more respectful of each other's history. See? So, you know, man. You know. And you know, it's kind of, you know, it's like Jewish people two-faced. You know, we help them as U.S. soldiers fight, join the U.S. military services and help save Jewish people's life, but then they turn on us when they come to America and they build. But so this leads me to, you know, Hollywood again. It's the movie, now this kind of deep, but it's the movie 12 Years a Slave, right? 12 Years a Slave starring Lupita, Brad Pitt, Chiwetel, and some other people, right? And the film was produced by Regency Enterprises, right? Now the name of the movie, 12 Years a Slave. The movie was produced by Regency Enterprises, Plan B. That's Brad Pitt company, and I think Road Warriors or some shit like that, right? But the owner, so I just looked this up. The owner of Regency Enterprises is Arnon Milchan, right? And he's a billionaire worth $4.1 billion from Israel, meaning he's Jewish, right? And so he owned one of the largest movie studios in Hollywood, right? Right? 12 years a slave, 12 years of Holocaust last, made by a Jewish company. You see? So, I thought that was kind of deep that, a Jewish man made this movie about slavery. And then, far as Conan, right? I don't think it's Jewish people fault. I think it's African American actors' fault that they take roles that portray them or portray us as sellout, sleep, docile, slow people. You know what I'm saying? I'm really starting to not believe that, that white Hollywood, that the Jewish companies, I think that it's more of the black directors and black actors' fault that we starting to look like coons, or that we consider that some of y'all are considered to be coons. That's sellout, that's playing a stereotypical role for the benefit of white people, right? Whether we over the top comedy or whatever, right? And so, I was just I'm looking at, is NickCannon dangerous, right? I don't think so. I don't think so. But, I think we need to do our research on, Jewish people. I just, recently found out what a Zionist is. A Zionist is a Jewish person that is pro the Jewish movement, right? He or she is all about being Jewish. So, that's all I wanted to talk about, man. I was gonna talk about some other things, but I ain't feeling it today. So I just wanted to touch on that NickCannon NickCannon situation. I'm out. Peace.